Hello, mathematicians. Welcome to lesson 6.4. Reminder of our enduring understanding. Mathematical situations can be represented and solved algebraically. Hopefully by now you've started to understand a little bit more about what a mathematical situation might be. And we're hopefully understanding a little bit more about algebra and what it means to solve something algebraically. So let's get started. Lesson 6.4 is going to be about expressions with variables. And you'll be successful today if you can write an expression with a variable, which represents a calculation where something is unknown, where you don't know one of the numbers. So your warm-up activity is some solution finding, okay? You can use a balance hanger or a tape diagram if you need to, but it's not necessary. It says, if x equals 12 and y equals 3, then evaluate these expressions. That means that every time we see an x, we're going to substitute that for the value of 12. Every time we see a y, we're going to substitute it with the value of 3. You should have done these already, so press pause and make sure that you've got your answers ready to share. So x plus y, let's start there. So remember, every time we see an x, we're going to replace it with a 12. And every time we see a y, we're going to replace that with a 3. Replace that with a 3. Okay, so evaluating this expression, 12 plus 3 equals 15. Moving on to the second example, 3x subtract y. So 3x is going to be 3 groups of 12, and then subtract 3. Let's go ahead and evaluate that. 3 groups of 12 are going to equal 36. Subtract 3. 36 subtract 3 is 33. Okay, let's get a little bit more tricky, you guys. 2x take away 2y plus 4. Notice carefully there are the brackets, the parentheses there, which is going to tell us which operation to do first. Remember, every time we see an x, we're going to replace it with 12, and every time you see a y, we replace it with 3. So keeping our parentheses, 2 times 12 minus 2 times 3, close the big parentheses, and then we're going to add 4 at the end. Okay, so 2 12s are 24, keeping my parentheses here. 2 3s are 6, at the end plus 4. Notice I'm just doing one step at a time. 24 take away 6 is 18, plus 4 at the end, 22. Did you get that one? Okay, 5x divided by 2y. So let's go ahead and substitute our values in. 5x is going to be 5 times 12. And we're going to divide that by 2 times 3. Let's go ahead and evaluate. So we have 60 divided by 2 times 3 is 6. 60 divided by 6 is 10. Okay, and our last little tricky one here. Let's go through and solve it the same way. X is 12, so we have 1/3 times x. Now 1/3 is our coefficient, right? It's right next to our variable, so it's going to tell us what to multiply that x by. So we have 1/3 times 12 plus 3. Okay, 1/3 times 12, well, that's going to be the same as 12 divided by 3 plus 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4 plus 3. That's going to equal 7. Notice I do one step at a time. I don't try to do more than one, because if I get lost, I want those little Hansel and Gretel crumbs to come back.